in a while when I start this, for some reason, my phone, it says it will only show vertical. I figured out how to fix it. Let's ask Bev what. Oh, hang on a second here. All right. Let's give everybody a chance to come on in. And I am going to, while we wait for everybody to come in, I'm going to take care of something. If you see me doing this, that is because as my teeth are getting loose, the only thing that's holding them into place is gums and nerves. And when I do that, I push them back into the socket a bit more, and I have a little bit less pain afterwards. So, how's everybody doing? I appreciate you for forgive me if I am a little fog-headed. It is part medication and part pain and fibro fog. I'm not in a fibro flare, but I am in a very painful place. That has nothing to do with my fibro, but is triggering my fibro. Does that make sense? What state am I in? What province am I in? Quebec. Why? Oh, you're off 2 weeks for fall break. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, Minnesota farmer's wife, Julie. Why do you ask? You can get bone restoration at the dentist. I can. However, I can. Is it surgery? Because there's the problem, folks. There's a very big problem. I've never met a dentist who will give me gas. And freezing really doesn't work all that well. But how does that work? Is that because I know my nephew was looking into it, and they said they were going to have to take a piece of his hip bone and graft it to the bone and then put implants in. And if that happens, my bone is still going to deteriorate under the grafted bone. And then the posts for the implants for the dentures are going to come loose. I watched it happen with my cousin. You got my book the other day. Oh, how lovely. Low, L-O-W. Low, Quebec. Hey, Catherine from Austin. Austin, Texas? Or Australia? Oh, I'm glad. I hope you like it, Julie. How does bone restoration work, Helen? That's I guess what I'm asking. Australia. Down under. So was it you who said you were on fall break? No? Hi, Missouri. Okay, let me pop out the participants list since everybody's saying hi. Hi, Alice. Nat. Welcome. I miss you. Betty Randall, Catherine Shera, Cheryl Altamere, Connie Watts, Donna Lull, Helen Burke, Isabel Rude, Joe Mama, Candy, Linda Bopp, Lori Lazor, McChesney, Missouri Bell, Minnesota Farmer's Wife, Julie, Rhonda in North Carolina, Sharon Addick, Shalita Buffett, and Trudy W. Okay, now whoops, I didn't want to make it any bigger. So what are we talking about here? Oops, what are we talking about here? I might as well leave it out. I have her address for years, but Amazon is picky. Hey, Catsy, Paula Armendariz? Catsy, Susan Fain, Helen Burke, just here and have to run. Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Hey, Empress. Horsetail naturally regrows bones. What about comfrey? You're not supposed to take it internally, but what if I put, no, I don't think that's a good idea. Dentist. If you don't fall asleep, you'll be on for Freaky Friday. Well, I'm glad to hear it because I am in dire need of Freaky Friday tonight. I really am. You wouldn't know it, guys, but I'm still fighting pain. And my tomatoes are my garden medley vegetables still are not ready for canning. They'll be ready tomorrow. They still have to cook down enough for me to put, because I've put in the leeks, I've put in the celery, I've put in the shredded zucchini. Now I just have to cook it down a little bit. Like every time it cooks down a little bit, I add something. And now I just have to cook it down a little bit more and add the diced zucchini, and it'll be ready for canning. Oh, me too, Donna. I need it. I need it today. I would be interested in, if I knew that, if I thought that a dentist could actually, excuse me, I have to see what I'm doing here. If I thought a dentist could actually regrow my bone, I would think about this because, it's getting hard. It's getting hard to eat properly. Meat has to be diced, finely diced. Not necessarily ground, but ground is better. You know what I mean? It has to be the utmost tenderest of meat, or I can't chew it anymore. So, always in pain. Meds only help so much, but sleep heals. Well, didn't you just have your hands done? Please, Nat. If you don't need to use your hands, please don't. Okay. 15 pints of hamburger today. Good job. Sandra Hudacek. Did I say that right? Hudjek? Okay, well, keep your hand, don't overdo it with your hands. Okay, sweetheart? So I thought I'd come on at 6:30 because Freaky Friday is usually at 8. And I wanted to make sure that, we had some sufficient time to spend. I'm so glad we have this time together. Because as soon as Freaky Friday's over, I'm turning my pots down to minimum. And because one's in a double boiler and one's actually on racks holding it above the burner so it doesn't scorch on the bottom. And this is why it's taking so long. It's very, very slow cooking. But tomorrow, I'll be getting them all hot and bubbling. It's got the celery. It's got the leeks. It's got shredded zucchini. Tomorrow, the cube zucchini goes in. And Bob's your uncle. I'm hoping to get at least 21 quarts of my garden medley vegetable. It's always the best soup or sauce starter, really. As coming into the United States as we speak. Hula hoo-ha. Praise God. Thank you. All to all truckers. Okay. Oh, so you're a trucker. Oh, I didn't know that. Gary. Hi, how's it going? All right, now I've got my medication sorted here. And then I'm going to put out my cards and light the sage. Howie has gone to pick up a part somewhere. I want to put these out, but I don't know how my hands are going to cooperate, but we'll see. Hey, Big Rims Marnie, how's it going? Diane Sonnenberg, hi. Calcium bentonite clay to brush your teeth? No. What I notice? If I use Colgate or any kind of, I don't mean to use the name Colgate, but if I use any kind of fluoride toothpaste, my teeth, it's when my bones hurt the worst. And we all know that my trip with the lead in the early 70s was a big issue. Because my brother Bob and I were the youngest out of five, but we were the worst hit by the lead contamination from this scraping off the top layer of toxic waste that our school had been built on off the water, just off the waterfront, and it put it all up in the air, and everybody in the school. I personally had 10 times the acceptable amount of lead in my blood. And for lead to be present in your blood on a finger prick, correct me if I'm wrong, it has to be in your blood for an extended period of time. Like it has to be constant exposure, because you get sick and then you get over it and it goes down into your bone marrow. And that, but for it was 10 times the acceptable amount in my blood. That's what I was told. And I was ADDHD before there was ADDHD. This was just after my mother died, and they all thought it was just behavioral issues because my mother had died, right? So what I'm saying is my brother Bob has no teeth, and my cousin Mary Jane, who lived down in that area at the same time that we were going to school, but she went to a different school. She has no teeth, and I'm working on it. And I eat really healthy. Like, I mean, I'm no whole food, plant-based, organic, vegan, raw thing, right? But, you know, I do the best I can within our budget to garden and to buy produce and all the things that we need for a healthy diet. City Bev, please. Honey, I live in Low, Quebec. There's sometimes you put the postal code in and it comes out Denholm, Danholm, right? But the truth is, the way our postal code comes up, you know, the 0X, when there's a 0X, it means you're in the middle of nowhere. Calcium and magnesium are supposed to help teeth. Well, I'll tell you something. It's not my teeth that are the issue. I've only ever had 2 cavities. It's not my teeth that are the issue. It's bone loss. Like where this tooth is. Wait a minute. Which one is it? Okay. This back tooth, the one that's really loose like this, see it? If you run along at the bottom of my teeth with your finger, you can feel where the teeth connect with the bone, and it's receding all the time. But if you hit that, just as you come to that tooth, the bone goes like this, boom, it's gone. So it's being held in by gums and tissue and nerve, no longer bone. Yeah, that absolutely, Candy. Absolutely. I was listening to the replay of your morning live and got notice for this one, had to switch over. Well, I mean, it's all I've been able to do lately because I have been in an excessive amount of pain. And I have been trying to get my canning done. I still haven't got the carrots bought yet, or the potatoes or the onions. I'm trying to get my canning done so that, now where's my lighter? So when the new cleaning lady comes, I bit the bullet, and I've hired somebody to come in and clean it. And if we do well together, then I'm going to have her come in every 2 weeks for at least, 3 hours every couple of weeks, just to sprit and polish what I can't do, because I can't do it anymore. Like, I'm so grateful for you guys for sitting with me at the kitchen, at the island while I work, because I'll tell you something. Joe, is Joe Mama here? Hi, Allison. Denoof, Mary Cook. How's it going? Seashell, hey, darling. Aloha, Linda. Becky. So I can still do the things I need to do when it comes to gardening and canning. I just have to adjust. Hopefully next year we'll be able to raise the beds another 10 inches, right? As I get older, right? Because my knees are so bad. I use a walker now. A lot of times I use a walker. When I'm putting stuff in the pantry, Willie the wheelie walker with the seat, he's my best friggin' friend. I'll put a big I'll put a canning box on the seat, and I'll put my canning on there that needs to go in the pantry, and woo, away we go. So, hey, Craze, how's it going? Grammy Karen, hi. So these are things I'm doing to adapt to my life. But there's just some things I can't continue to do and still keep my house properly. My house is not bad. It's not bad. It just needs a deep, and it's been a year or longer since it's had a deep seasonal cleaning. And I used to do that twice a year, spring and fall, right? So this year, remember Nancy used to come and every 2 weeks, but then she got a job somewhere else. So Joe is here on and off trying to get your address right for Amazon. She is doing both at the same time. I know. It's my address. My address is in the back of Beyond in hillbilly country of the Gatineau Hills in Quebec, or the Outaouais, Hey, Kathy, how are you, darling? So what is happening now is I'm having to make choices. And the choices are I can garden and can and clean my house, or I can garden and can and make videos while I'm doing it. Because it took everything I had today to peel and chop that zucchini, make Howie's breakfast, and tidy and vacuum the living room. That was it. That's all I was able to do today, right? It wants the address changed. No. I will, honey, if you go through my wish list, it will give you the address to ship to. Do you understand? Hey, Mary Jo. Karen! Eat. KB Catter. I'm putting my garden beds together during winter months to be ready for spring. Walkers are the best item for the yard and garden. We have a walker wheelchair in our house. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, right? Now, my beds are too far apart or too close together for my wheelie walker. But my, silver, hi-ho silver away, my stationary walker is excellent for the garden. And somebody sent me a garden kneeler, but if you flip it upside down, it's a garden seat. And I use that often too. So the only thing, hang on. Where did, hang on. Remind me in a minute. Cleanse us of negativity. May we lift our prayers in our homes. Okay. Doesn't take much. Okay, that's done. Now I'm going to go behind the fan. Which fan you say? see. That one still has to be fixed. Which fan? You pick. Black or white polka dot. Does 4 jars have a minimum to get the discount code to work? No, not that I'm aware of. Why, are you having issues? Have a good night, everyone. Hey, AM, how's it going? All right. Yep. Oh, I'll start off with this one. So, you know, and I know that YouTube is going in a, YouTube has gotten to the point where censorship has, got content creators in 3 camps. There's the constant anger, which I have had to battle at being so censored. Then there is brainless compliance, which I can't do. And then there is working within the YouTube parameters while working on a more freedom of speech website. Oh, okay. Okay, sweetheart. Hey, Jessica, how are you? Hi, Allison. So that's where things are right now. Like Joe said, you're not thinking of quitting. And I said, no. I'm not quitting. But I have now to modify my life. I used to have somebody come and clean my house. They would do 2 deep seasonal cleanings, Christmas and spring, or fall and spring. And then every 2 weeks come for, just vacuum, sweep, mop, bathroom, kitchen, boom. See you in 2 weeks kind of thing, right? But Nancy taught me, and a good cleaning lady will teach you the best and cheapest way to maintain your home. And that is deep cleaning twice a year. And every 2 weeks, I look after my own stuff, laundry, dishes, sweeping, vacuuming, but every 2 weeks she comes and does a once over, boom. So that's what I'm hoping to achieve. You're about to sue YouTube. Really? How come? Please say so in the chat, and so I can know whether I'm allowed to comment on it or not. So these are, where did my fan go? Oh, it's right in front of me, jumping Jehoshaphat. Sweet jumping Christopher. So now I can no longer maintain my home in the order that I like it. Like when Arthur was little and just before Howie and I met, I used to babysit kids every day, 5 days a week. And every Friday after the last kid went home, I cleaned my house from top to bottom. Gave Arthur supper. Arthur and I would have supper, clean the house from top to bottom, give him his bath, put him to bed, and then I would have a bath in I hate to say it, but in a medicinally clean bathroom and house, right? Except for the carpets, and I don't do carpets. I do rugs, right? So remember, Gary, if you're typing in all caps, you can only do 100 characters or it'll delete it. So if you're on a rant right now, do it in chunks, okay? Because I really would like to hear it. Hey, Phoebe. So it's gotten that I can't do that anymore, right? And later on, when my kids were small and I started gardening and raising chickens and turkeys and babysitting, it was a long haul. I'd get drunk on Fridays after the kids left and crank the music. I don't drink. 26 years, guys. Haven't had a drink in 26 years. Crank the music and clean the house. But can you qualify for PSW coverage to help you? I don't know. That's what I'm going to ask my doctor. Like I'm sure it's my doctor I have to ask, right? So sucks when you cannot do what you used to. Well, my doctor has all the x-rays of my knees and my hip and my hips and my shoulder, right? And she said that the last time I'm speaking to her on Monday. I have a phone appointment with her on Monday. And we're going to talk about, because I'm trying to get myself off lorazepam. So I'm actually forgot to buy my melatonin to take with a half of lorazepam. I read Chattanese, Phoebe. No one's telling me how to keep house. This is, okay, look, I'm not afraid. Okay, hang on a second. You don't want to get seasick, but come on, let's take a little walk. All right. There's my bathroom. That's clean laundry. That's dirty laundry. This is my bathroom. Okay. This is my dining room. There is the 600-watt unboxing thing we're going to do. My sewing machine is going over in that corner. You can't really see my living room. Howie has to put down my rebounder downstairs because I have no knees right now. There's Gracie. See, it's not horrific, guys. This is my zucchini. That's my stove. See? It's not horrific. I'm not ashamed of my house. But I don't like the way it is. And there is also the fact okay, sweetheart. Okay, because I did ask you to tell us what's going on with, you and YouTube, right? So here's the thing. Hey, Lola Granola, the chicken dola. So here's the thing. I don't have the energy to set up videos, film them, be in them, edit them, answer them. I don't have the energy to do that. And like, I don't want my house isn't a studio, but it is, right? My house isn't a studio, but it needs to be to my standard. Right now, it needs dusting. It needs the floors washed. Howie is going to organize, once I'm finished canning this weekend, he's going to organize under my island, right? Because my canning pots are all on the floor beside my island, because what's the point of stacking them and putting them away when I'm canning every other day, kind of thing, right? Then, well, I mean, I thought I heard rain. It's a home that's lived in, right? Exactly. But I haven't been able to do, my Friday rituals of washing the floors and cleaning the bathroom. I still clean my bathroom on Fridays, right? I just haven't done it today. It's getting done tomorrow. But I do the toilet, the sink, and the tub, and Howie does the floor for me. Now, he just pulled the dryer out and cleaned out everything behind it and refixed my dryer vent. Thank you, God. He still has to wood in around the window. He hasn't done that. It's been 2 years, right? So, yes, thank you. Hang on. This is why I got us here earlier than 7. So, yes, it is Rhonda. Hi, Rhonda. The code is half acre. All one word in capital letters. Half acre gives you 10% off. Okay? I'll send you a picture of my living room and all of my daughters belong. It doesn't matter. The fact is I work really hard. and it's grinding me down trying to stay on top of everything. And I love doing videos for y'all. And I love reading and live reading, and I love all these things. But the truth is I may be only 59 years old, but I'm walking around in the body of a 75-year-old woman, 80. I got a friend 72 years old. She runs circles around me. She has an Airbnb and a garden and dogs, and she's an artist. You all know Sarah. She wrote the books on my reading channel, Grandy's Gift, excuse me. I call it Grandy's Ghost in my head. Grandy's Gift and Ghost the Bootlegger's Horse. She runs circles around me. But my body is older than hers in physical because of the lead contamination when I was a kid, right? It does all kinds of small tissue damage, and it never really, the damage is constant and ongoing, right? Exactly. Thank you, Shalita. I was just about to say, hey, Vanessa. I was just about to say that too. My kids are coming for Thanksgiving, and we have not, like, we've gone to see the kids and we've had takeout and all that stuff, but we have not had a family holiday celebration in years. Okay. So since pre-pandemic, really. So what I want my house to be decontaminated of flour, because you saw what I've been doing. I've been canning up flour to make room putting flour in the pantry to make room in the freezer, right? And then when I went to do the sugar, because the mice was chewing a hole in the corner of the bag, and that's heavy duty bag, right? I had to jar up all my sugar. And the problem was I had to deglutenize my entire island and surrounding counters and area before I could open the sugar bags and put them in clean jars. You understand? My kid likes sugar in his tea. So, and it sounds crazy, but if you're that gluten intolerant, and a lot of people are nowadays, because let's face it, it's not necessarily the gluten, it's glyphosate, right? That's what we're being told now. It's the Roundup and stuff. So it may sound insane, but one little particle of flour in a meal that my son eats could throw him into what amounts to a fibro flare for days. Massive pain in his neck and his shoulders and his arms, hands go numb, everything. It's horrible. And he has back pain. So gluten intolerance is not something and my grandbaby's coming. And we're going to make him his costume. We're going to be a Dalmatian Bobby. And I got him a book. Right? I got him a book for Halloween, right? So I desperately need this family time. I don't know about anybody else, but I desperately need this family time, right? And I don't want anything, because I'm pretty sure Christmas is going to be, if we're invited, Christmas is going to be at Arthur and Mel's house, because this is baby's his second Christmas. He was born the week before Christmas, but he won't remember the first one, right? No, that's what I mean, Lacey Black. So I have to look at my life now as a whole. I want my children in my life. If that means not taking their picture or not sharing their picture, or, if that means having my house deep cleaned before every time they come to visit, I'll friggin' do it. But I can't do it. Well, I need this. I desperately need this. So because if we're invited, we may be going to Arthur and Mel's house for Christmas, for baby's first Christmas. And I have no problem with that. Absolutely no problem with that. I would just have to find somebody to house sit my dog. Right? So, and Gracie has gone to their house, but they also have cats. And so while they're there, the poor cats will have to stay in the bedroom, unless they come out while Howie takes Gracie for a walk, or we could work something like that out. But hey, Sherry, how are you, darling? So these are the things that I'm looking at. How can I spend the best time with my family on an ongoing basis, not to mention my grandchild, right? And not grind myself down to nubbins trying to do it all. So I used to have Nancy come in twice a year and then twice a month for, touch-up cleaning, shoveling and dusting, However, deep cleaning is shoveling and organizing and cleaning. And then, the top-up visits are basically just doing floors and bathroom and kitchen, right? It's always a work in progress. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Hey, Giggles. How's it going? Frida. So that's where I am today. I have decided that despite my drastic drop in income, which eventually the economy trickles down especially to places like YouTube where people are just not shopping anymore, right? I've lost my bonus structure with 4 jars because that was only a year contract, right? And all of these things, but it's become such an ingrained part of my life that I won't give it up until I absolutely have to, right? So, this is how it's going to work. And you're right. I want to see, I don't need a PSW. I just need somebody to clean up after me when I'm working. You know what I mean? So, hey, Snowbella. Yeah, a team effort. Yes. So, I mean, Howie helps, right? Oh, he's home. Howie helps when he can, but he also works more than one job. He's making the garage. He's working. He doesn't just work on his race car. He works on other people's race cars. He works on other people's, body work. Like, oh, if someone needs a fender or a bumper or a new mirror or a ding in the door banged out, that kind of stuff. How he does that, he's capable of doing that right in our garage, but he's making the garage more car friendly for himself. So he works 2 jobs, and he works 3 jobs. He's also my medicinal marijuana grower. And because I can't do that, I get the plants started. I get the seed sprouted, the plant started, and then Howie puts them in the greenhouse and works his magic, and they will soon be needing trimmed. I can't breathe, and my heart goes nuts if I do too much. Well, I'm walking on peg legs right now. Now, you got to stop and think about the imagery there. My knees, I only bend them when I absolutely have to. So when I walk like this, like a tin soldier with my legs. If I only had a heart. Cool off the broth. Darn autocorrect. Hey, baby. Did you get something to eat, or do you want supper? Okay, well, I turned off. There's goulash in the crock if you're still hungry. Was there any mail? Come and give me a kiss. I missed you. Hi, Lynn. How's it going? Hey, Heather. Hi. How are you? So, I'm gonna pull a card for the group in a minute. You don't have to participate in any of this. It's not hoodoo or witchcraft or anything like that. Regardless of what my husband says, he still thinks I'm a witch. Don't ya? He's going deaf too. This is just inspiration, right? Any messages I get or inspirations I get, they come from the creator, not anywhere else. Oh my goodness, look at you. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Oh, good, my book. Oh, look at you.
What?
You're dull, you're dark and black and dirty.
I work for a living.
So do I. Did you see the house?
No, I just walked in the door.
You just walked in the door. Well, I tidied up a little bit today. I want to get this weekend on Sunday under the sink, and then my under the island organized so that Candace can do the floors, right? And the fridge maybe. But if she has time, I may ask her to do it. Maybe I will pay more. I don't know. Depends on how. I've got a budget of, what the heck happened to my thing? Where's my, oh, I have a budget of 6 hours for this big deep cleaning thing. Oh, don't do that. Hang on a second. You rattle my cage, man. Uh-oh, I got this wrong. I want the chat. He walks in and every rational thought goes right out the window when he kisses me. He's so fine. Doing. Anyway, hey, Linda. Willows. Hey. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, so that's what's going on. That's the decision. One way or another, I have to budget, for somebody to clean the house. But I am going to ask my doctor if there's any way I can get, well, I suppose I can get a tax deduction for that, right? But I wonder if my doctor would write me a note saying, no, she needs the help. Yes, she works, but it's at a pace, Oh, I'm glad to hear it, honey. So anyway, yeah, that's what's going on. Let's pull a card for the group. Did you get what you went for, dear? Okay. How's he doing? Yep. We watched a really cool movie last night. Now, it's not really cool. Was that on Stars, dear? The American Apocalypse. We watched this movie last night called American Apocalypse. Now, it would probably send people into the snores because it's just a movie about what happens when society starts to break down. It's the premise of the movie is the world saw, a worldwide pandemic that brought the world to its knees, and little did they know it was just the beginning, right? And then because a lot of people started dying, right? So it shows not zombies and all that stuff, but what it shows is how people of strong moral fiber can still exist, and how people with weak moral fiber can become stronger, or they can just lose all moral character at all. So it shows the different phases of how society would handle it. And although it was just this basic movie showing how people survived, it was, I looked at it and I went, yeah, I get that. Totally get that. And I said to Howie, I sure appreciate my pantry. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping it's going to rain because usually the pain starts to go away after the rain gets into it. Like if it comes in and it's a heavy storm and it goes away, it doesn't do any good. But if it comes in and it's a 2 or 3 day rain, after about the first half day, my bones go, oh, okay, I know what I'm supposed to do now. Hey, Mindy. A lot of what they do in the movies is a precursor to what they're actually. Yeah, that's you know, that's the way people, you know, some people call it predictive programming. But it makes you think, right? It makes you think. And I, you know, people need to be on the land. If you got even an eighth of an acre, we had a quarter acre in Colburn, and I still had turkeys. I still had laying hens. I still raised meat birds. I had a very understanding close neighbor. My far neighbor owned the land behind us and all up the side, but his house was way over there. My near neighbor, we practically shared a driveway, right? And he was really understanding, God rest his soul. But I mean, that was back in the day when I'm going, I don't understand why I need to learn this stuff, but I need to learn this stuff, right? Rabbits, turkeys, chickens, gardening, canning, you know, how much firewood you need, right? So, oh, I thought that said, hey, Wendy, for a minute. Oh, you know what? Hang on a second. I will be right back. Angie's going to be so mad at me because I keep forgetting to send her the link. It doesn't work for her through Facebook or through Messenger. So I have to send it directly to her phone. So what do we got to say? What do we want to talk? What do we want to hear from the universe? The universe has our back. The creator has our soul and our heart. So I have 3 cards. 3 cards here. Whoops. Wrong one. Here we go. I have 3 cards here. And this one's upside down. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. Holy crap. But guess what? That was upside down. So I think a lot of us, that's going to give me a headache. I think a lot of us look at what's going on in the world and think about what we should do in theory. And hang on a second here. What we should do in theory, and we're starting to put things into practice. But this is saying that it should be uppermost in our minds. This is what I think it's saying. In every moment, the universe is conspiring. You got to understand this. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring us toward right-minded thinking, not right-left, correct-minded thinking, and the energy of love. Let that sink in. In any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. Now, some people kind of jerk at the word prayer, but I like to think of prayer and meditation as doing some deep breathing exercises and letting myself float and connecting with the higher power of my understanding. Okay? And having a conversation. People have a tendency to think that God's unreachable, and he's not. That's just what man wants us. Men want us. That's what the powers that be want us to think. God is right here, right now. God is all good all the time. God is love. The creator is a part of who we are. It's not separate, just like the earth is a part of who we are. And I choose love no matter what. Did everybody get the message today? Something really good. Bev, is your link is crystal clear. Well, thank you. Hi, Barbara. How are you? Have I missed anybody? I try and make sure I see everybody. But do you understand where I'm coming with that? It's as plain as the glasses on my face. That community, like, we have been led to believe that mankind is an angry, judgmental, warring species. We're not. We've just been a long time pushed into these roles, pushed and funneled into the jar until they got us where they wanted us and they shook the jar. And we turned on each other because we can't see what's shaking our world because it's just too big. So we turn on each other. That's what we have to stop. That's not who we are as a species. Mankind is like a wolf pack in a way. Okay, think of mankind as a wolf pack. We are social, loyal, shy, but above all, we're a family, right? And we respect each other's territories. We respect each other's beliefs. We respect each other's choices, even if they don't align with ours. It's like the prime minister. I have to respect the position. I don't have to respect the man. And he's making a mockery of the position. So this whole one-up-ya life is horrible. Yeah, I don't, people are waking up and saying this one-up-ya life is not for me, right? Hang on, I got to put this back up and turn it down. I wish I could see the controls. Did I get the right one? Nope. Oh, did I unplug you? Nope. Okay, hang on. What's going on here? Is it as low as it can go? I guess it's as low as it can go. Hey! Who did I miss? Hi, Waldo. How's it going? So, what I guess I'm trying to say is we need to rise above the way they want us to behave. Remember when someone came into the chat one day and said, "Oh, I can walk right out of Walmart with $400 or $999 worth of stuff, and the store employees are not allowed to stop me because they were, and all I get is a fine." Do you know why they did that? So that they could bring in facial recognition software as a security measure and all these new AI things which have been put on pause, right? Because when someone like Elon Musk says, we really got to think this, because as a species, this is the way I think, as a species, we make a mistake and then we learn from that mistake and we put something in place so that we don't make that mistake again. Somebody gets a piece of machinery, falls on their foot, and it crushes their foot. Oh, well, steel toes may be a good idea in boots. But when it comes to AI, if the mistake happens, it's already too late. There's no correction. There's no fail-safe. So that's why. Did I send you that clip from Benny Johnson about the Trudeau Leah? I don't know. Probably. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't had time. I mean, you guys have been with me from one channel to another for most of the day. But my point is that it's time for us to stop. It's time for people to stop blaming. Okay? Blame gets you nowhere. Oh, where'd my chat go? Friggin' dig. Give me a second. It's time for us to stop blaming everything and everyone else for how our lives turned out. It's time for us to stop relying so heavily on the government, because they've built that into the system so that obviously now they seem to think they can do whatever they want and nothing changes, nothing gets solved. And we're witnessing it today in North America, right? So, A, you take the government's coin, you got to take the crap. B, the government works for us, not the other way around. All right? And things have to change. Things have to change on a radical basis, and we are the change. We are the change. We are now faced with saying, no, 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 no. You promised this, this, and this, and all you did was say, oh, well, I lied. Because that's technically what my prime minister has done. Oh, well, I lied. Right? He's been made a mockery of in India, in China, and now in his own parliament. Right? And he apologizes on behalf of Parliament. Parliament had nothing to do with that debacle, with that Nazi being lauded as a war hero on the parliament floor. Where was the vetting process? Yes, the Speaker of the House who invited him stepped down and apologized. But Trudeau apologized on behalf of Parliament? No, Trudeau. You need to apologize to everyone in this country because somebody dropped a ball and you're the boss. You can't, there's nobody left to throw under the bus, right? Thank you, Joe. I will. Yes. So we as a civilization have to, we got a whole generation of cancel culture out there. Who a whole generation of people who think they can be whatever they want despite science and biology, that they can do whatever they want. I literally watched a TikTok saying, you know what? All you have to do is be gay and you can literally do anything. And he's walking down the street insulting people, waving a gay flag, prancing and saying, see, I can get away with whatever I want because I'm black and I'm gay. And it's like, whoa, did he just say that? Like, really? So this timeline in our culture needs us, the adults, to rise above and start correcting the issue. And when I say correcting the issue, it means we got to love the civilization back to health. Right? Hey, Kim, got your first book this week. Can't put it down. Oh, well, thank you, Kim, Green Valley, Ontario. So and that's another thing. I want to work on the second book because I haven't thrown out this list. I can't really read it very well because somebody must have been medicated at the time she did it. But it is time for us to take responsibility. I take responsibility. It's like, I don't know. I look at Howie sometimes and I go, I don't know how we raise these kids to think this way. Right? And I do know. I let them have video games and computers. Free reign. And by the time I took them out of the house, it was too late. That, Briar is on the spectrum. He has social anxiety disorder, right? And he works and he functions really well without medication. And I'm so very proud of him. So very proud of him because he works, he pays his rent, he buys his grocery, he helps his mom when she needs it, and he doesn't do drugs, he doesn't drink. His joys are reading and video games, right? I mean, no drugs, no alcohol, no cigarettes, video games and reading. What's wrong with that? He goes to work every day and he pays his rent, right? Could I read for you, please? Read what? Oh, okay. Vanessa, give me a moment, okay? So these are, let's circle all the way back to why I need a cleaning lady, right? Because I want to continue to function. I don't want to grind myself down to a nubbin. And what's the lesson of the week before we head out? I'm going to do one reading for Vanessa. And he is a good kid. And my son Arthur is a good man. You know, Arthur and Mel are amazing parents. They really are, and they did it right. Well, maybe they didn't get married, but they did it right. They lived together first. Then they got a cat. And the cat lived. So they got another cat. And then they had to deal with siblings. Because these cats, just because you get two cats doesn't mean they're always going to get along. And they're vastly different cats. Then they had a baby. Like, to me, that makes sense. 10 years together, two cats. Yeah, baby, it's a good time for a baby, right? So I guess what I'm trying to say is I take responsibility for allowing video games. Actually, I didn't just allow them. We used to participate. We'd have whole video game nights. We went through Xboxes and Super Nintendos and Nintendo 64s. You know what I mean? So okay, don't worry. We're going to do it. I have 20 minutes before I have to set up for Freaky Friday. And now let's pay the bills. If you are not a patron, okay, here's what you get. Now, I know people tip me, and I'm not asking you to tip me. I'm actually asking you not to tip me, okay? People tip me in here, and YouTube makes 30%, takes 30% of whatever I earn. Everything I earn, including tips. And then I got to pay my government, right? So what Patreon does is it's $5 American a month or $7.50 Canadian. And it says there's tiers, but that's the only tier there is the $5 or $7.50 Canadian. And what that gets you is live streams with me every Monday and Wednesday. Sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes in the evening, but I leave those up for replay unless I've covered a really particularly hotbed topic that I might have to delete it. But usually I leave the Monday and Wednesday ones up. And on Friday is Freaky Friday. Friday is where the disco lights actually come out and the music comes out and we decompress from the week, right? And if you ask any patron, Freaky Friday is worth the $5 a month alone because you get that 4 times a month, right? Oh, well, you know what, Linda? But you're also a patron, and I don't need that. It's not that I don't appreciate it, but I would rather you get something for your money, right? Other than just this. So Monday, Wednesdays, and Freaky Fridays, $5 a month. American, $7.50 Canadian. My homesteading book, I'm no longer calling it a cookbook. I'm bringing that up now and again, and it isn't in here, but I bring it up now and again because it's been 8 years since I wrote that book. And people is like, you should write a cookbook. I said, well, I have one. And then I realized it's not a cookbook. It has the things you need to know first, like different strengths of simple syrups, bechamel, basic bread, and then it has spice mixes, how to render lard, how to make your soap out of lard, how to make cheap laundry soap, right? And it takes you through canning, water bath canning, pressure canning, and pressure canning meat. It takes you, and then there's recipes of like my Yorkshire pudding pork pie, right? So it's a little wee homestead. It's like a 5x7 book of all the basics you need for homesteading, except for gardening, but homesteading in the kitchen, stocking your pantry and all these things. So I absolutely loved hanging out with y'all. Most of the time I'm in chicken yard lately and treating Bumblefoot out there while listening. What's Bumblefoot? Well, it's good to see you, Lola. Okay, Sherry Leach. Anyway, folks, I have a card for Vanessa and a card for Waldo. Vanessa, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Waldo, you hold on because I rearranged the cards. Give me a 1, 2, 3, or 4. So if I can share anything with you, it's important that we take responsibility for our actions. It's important that we take responsibility for our lives. Let's stop the blame game and start looking at how we can correct things in our lives that we don't need, like excess shopping. There's absolutely nothing wrong with having an old phone and keeping it, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong with wearing the same clothes from one year to the next until they, need to be replaced. There's absolutely nothing wrong with not wanting all the kitchen gadgets in the world. Okay. Although I have been blessed with many. All right. Reduce, reuse, recycle becomes, instead of reduce, reuse, recycle, we reduce, reuse. But the most important is reduce. And then we say, use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. All right, Vanessa. I'm running out of time, Vanessa. Okay, well, if Vanessa's not here, Waldo. 1, 2, 3, or 4. A yucky scab on the bottom of your chicken's feet while processing and thought, I can't use that for stock. Yes. The bottom of their foot, it doesn't get treated. They can die. And I've had one die. Wow. Do you put sandpaper on the roosts? And not just any sandpaper, but very, very fine sandpaper. You could put it on your skin. If you put a really fine grit sandpaper on the roosts, it helps keep their feet clean. And it keeps the roost clean. So instead of scraping the roost and cleaning it, you just rip off the sandpaper and put fresh on, right? 4, Waldo, you have chosen, now that's, whoa, Waldo, that's one just flew right out. Waldo, your card is all paths lead home. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. Do I have to? Okay, I'm going to repeat that. All paths lead home. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. So what that means is just basically what we've been saying. Okay? Get grounded. Get centered, start looking at working in solution in life instead of blame oriented, because when we say all paths lead home, all loving paths lead back to the Creator, right? And that's where we are. We are on the march home. I don't necessarily mean to Armageddon or anything like that. I just mean we are now the bulwark against the darkness, and we have to hold up our light. Okay. All right. So, I mean, we have to do our part. All right. For all those who care to, please help me close with some spiritual nourishment. Now, folks, you don't have to look at this as prayer. This is not religion in any way, shape, or form. What this is is you connecting with your faith and I connect with mine, and we meet across the universe and across the internet to join hands and hearts and come together where God's light lives, which is in our hearts, right? And it has nothing to do with religion and everything to do with sharing God's love with each other, right? Oh, I didn't say there's anything wrong with religion. I didn't say there's anything wrong with religion. I'm saying, you know, when we do this, your faith is where you're going to get centered in before we say a prayer. You take what you want and leave the rest out, right? There is absolutely nothing wrong with religion. Do you know why? A lot of people need the structure. And that's all. That's all it is a place for them to go for community and structure. We don't necessarily have a physical structure for us to meet in, right? We're just here. So, you know, people connect with their own faith. I connect with mine, and we meet. We meet where all faiths should meet, and that's in God's love, right? Anyway, all right, here we go. Let's do some deep breathing. You know, do some imagery of taking in pure white light energy, God's divine light, and pushing out any sludge or darkness that may have accumulated in our psyche, in our souls, in our hearts through the week. Maybe we had an argument with somebody. Maybe we, you know, gestured at somebody who cut us off in traffic. Maybe we snapped at somebody, right? It's time to let that go and start anew and clean and fresh, right? And that's why we do this. So take some nice deep cleansing breaths. And for all those not staying, take care. God bless. All right, here we go. Excuse me. Push it out. Bring it in deep. Hey, God, creator and source of all, how's it going? Thank you, God. I got to say right off the bat, thank you for this community, God, and my internet community that keeps me coming back every day. They keep lifting me up in love and support. And God, I wish I could do more. I wish I could do more. But thank you for showing me that it's okay for me to accept my limitations and how to work around them without guilt. Thank you for that, God. Thank you for our community. There's people that are afraid. They're, you know, out in the world, there's people that are afraid, that are having health issues, addiction issues, family issues, financial issues. The world is in a bit of chaos, God. And we just, you know, for some people it's not, but for a lot of us it is. So God, we just want to lift everybody up that's having any kind of struggle, God. And we want your love to shine down upon them in the warmth, brilliant light that gets noticed no matter how distracted we are by the chaos. Even for a moment, God, let your love shine down on them so that they have moments of peace where they can catch their breath and march on forward, even if they don't know where it's coming from. God, we offer that up to you. We offer them up to you for your love, because we're here, because we know your love. And we accept your love every day. And we thank you for that love. So God, please fill us so full of your light, your holy divine light and love, so deep that we shine with it everywhere we go. We are a walking example of your love in our actions and in our meditations. May we always filter our life through your love. Yes, that sounds right, doesn't it? Amen. Namaste. Excuse me. Peace be with you. Merry meet, blessed be, Migwitch. Peace be with you. Walk in the shining light of God's love. The language is all about love. Whatever language you use, it's all about love when we talk to our higher power, right? And when we pray for our friends and our family. And you are that. All right, patrons, I will see you in a few minutes. I just got to get set up, and we'll be back. All right. I love you guys. Take care. God bless. And know that you're in my prayers daily. You really are, because you've become a very important part of my life. Take care. God bless. Remember, just because I can't see you, my heart sees you. Thanks be to God. Right? My heart sees you, and that's good enough for me. Take care. God bless.